Across America, tech companies are rapidly building the infrastructure for 5G. That's the next generation of mobile phone technology. 5G networks will be far faster and far more powerful than our current setup. So far, though, most of the debate over 5G is centered on China and whether its state-run companies have too much influence in this strategically important field. But there's another, even more basic question that is yet to be answered. Are 5G networks safe, physically, medically safe? There's some debate about that. Dr. Mark Siegel is a Fox News medical contributor, and he joins us tonight for an answer. Doctor, are 5G networks safe? Do we know the answer to that?
Tucker, as far as we know, yes, but we don't know the long-term risks. Coming to a street lamp near you, right? 300,000 of them are going to sprout up in the United States. And preliminary studies from National Toxicology Program looking at 2G and 3G look like it can possibly cause heart tumors and brain tumors in rats, not people, mind you, rats, but change cells in the brain and cause ringing in the ears. So we don't know the long-term health risks, and I'm not willing to take that off the table, especially since 5G is closer to you because it's faster and it's higher definition, but it doesn't travel as far. So I need to see longer-term studies on this.
But before those studies are available, we're building the infrastructure and doing it anyway?
Typically, yes. But I also want to point out, you know, as you said at the beginning, there's a trade war going on here between the Russians and the Chinese and us. The Russian TV is trying to scare us. So I don't want to come out and say I think there are definite health risks. And not only that, I want to tell you, medically, this is a huge home run because 5G has very high definition, which means we're probably going to be able to operate robotically. That's right, robotically from other places in the world, finally. Remotely, robotically, telemedicine. So there's a lot of big advances in higher definition. We got to study it, and Tucker, we should have been studying it already. And the latest studies in rats make me want to see more and more in humans at the same time. So I don't want to lose this trade war, but I want more medical studies.
So the concern would be the radiation coming from the antennas on street poles, or would it be from our phone, or where would the risk be if there is a risk?
So that's a great question, and I think in this case we're going to be talking more about the transmitters, because remember, the phones, we already have that problem. I don't think the increased radiation from 5G is in the phone itself is what bothers me, because actually 5G it doesn't penetrate as much as 3G and 2G, you know, but the towers are going to be much closer to you, and they're going to be transmitting all day and night. So I want them studied. That hasn't been studied, and there's going to be a lot of them sprouting up. That's where the risk is. And I'm not talking about cancer necessarily. I'm talking about preliminary changes to cells in the brain. You know, not to mention what we've talked about previously on this show, which is more and more technology means more and more teens not talking to each other, which means more and more depression and anxiety. We got that problem too. So we need to study this, and we need to study it fast.
Dr. Mark Siegel, thank you for that.
Thanks, Tucker.